Today I'm going to react to your favourite rides at Gumbuya World. So starting off our video with a roller coaster, we have got mining roller coaster. And before you'll go to me saying, Tom, I thought this was a water park video. Well, it is, but the thing about Gumbuya World is it's not just a water park, but also a theme park too. And within your admission to get in, you can do both of them for completely free. Well, once you pay the admission price to get in, of course. But once you see this ride here, you will realise what I've included both of them. As once you have boarded the minecart, you will head around the layout 3 times, completing many twists, turns and drops, which for once will not make you scream. Unlike our next attraction, Rush Hour, which will most definitely make you scream. Because if you choose to take it on, and the only reason I would, was because of how awesome the theming is. Yeah, look at that, you're basically aboard a mini car with all of the traffic lights and direction posts. Oh, it's so cool. You'll quickly realise that it is not like being in Rush Hour, where you may sit down and relax in your car. Yeah, it's annoying, but not this annoying, with it spinning you round non-stop on a platform that will then also spin around with another gondola spinning around whilst they also tilt. Yeah, that is bonkers. But the reason why you shouldn't scream is because they also face inwards to one another. And trust me, from experience, if you do let that out, you'll never be allowed to forget it. Okay guys, I promise you, we are at our final ride before the slides start to begin. This is Tree Swing. And before we even get onto the ride itself, I'm loving the atmosphere here. Now if you look at this fake tree, obviously it's fake, all the trees around it, and the amazing backdrop, it just works so well together, and you will definitely get a chance to see that when you are on this ride, because whilst no, it is not a giant one, it is still a step up from your childhood swing set. With you and up to one other person, so you can share these memories too with someone else, being lifted into the air, whilst also spinning around non-stop, causing you to quite literally swing outwards, whilst also experiencing that amazing wind rushing sensation against your face, and for me anyway, bringing back many childhood memories. Here we go, we have now made it onto our first side, Tiger Snake Tango, and a little fact for you guys, you cannot have an Australian water park full stop without a snake themed side, and what they normally are too, is very intense. Although from what I can see anyway, in the case of this one, it is just like your normal side, with you twisting and turning through a series of tubes, dropping down on your body, and then finishing off with a splash. So similar to the mining racer coaster, if you want to build up to the biggest size, these are amazing. But if you already feel brave enough, well, it may be best to miss out these ones, do the uniquer ones and bigger ones first, and then come back to them. Talking about building up to the bigger rides, our next attraction, TNT, is one of the best ones to do so on, because normally these sort of rides are the ones where you'll be flipping upside down, twisting and turning like never before, and just going all over the place, whereas on this one, it's quite nice. Do not think, you know what, Tom said this is alright, let's just go on here without a thought about the thrills, because this is still an inverted coaster, and amongst all of the elements, like the sharp twists and turns, the helixes, the bit where you go through a building, and so much more, you'll just be dangling your legs. Although look at it in the sense that once again, you will not be screaming the whole way round, rather enjoying those elements, the amazing theming, and the sensation of dangling your legs, with it providing some family thrill elements compared to the normal ultra thrill ones. As much as you cannot have an Australian water park without a snake themed side, you cannot have a water park without a racer side. And our next attraction, Red Belly Racer, once again is a snake themed side, but also a racer one. And the thing about these sides is that whilst they are always fun, and nothing beats turning your friends into enemies, frenemies, for a race down one of these, they are usually a lot shorter of allowed to accommodate for more lanes. On this one right here, they've only got 4 lanes in fact, but from the moment you set off on your front, yes, no lifeguard will be telling you off this time, you'll be dropping down many bumps where you can see your competitor twisting and turning through your coloured tube, and of course bouncing over even more bumps at the end, all before passing a finish line where you can look up and see who really is the Red Belly Racer champion. Would it surprise you to know that our next attraction is once again a snake themed side? However, this time it is not one of those snake themed sides that isn't that crazy, but one that is most definitely. This is a family coaster, and whilst I'm not really selling my point right now, it is most definitely a crazy side with you boarding a 4-person raft. So yes, you can share those reactions, good, bad and insane, when you make your way around the twists and turns, of course on a much larger scale, slithering through the snake's body, all before you come to my favourite part, the, well, small funnel section funny enough, which you will rock back and forth in before coming out the end. Oh, I'm sorry, am I still underestimating how brave you are? Well, no matter how brave you are, Boomerang will test your bravery to the limits. Cause beginning this ride is very similar to the last, with you twisting and turning through the open air, through tubes, and especially for the person going backwards, going, once again, Tom was wrong. However, the person going forwards will think that maybe I'm not, because before you lot know it, you will drop down into a giant wall section, and here comes the laws of physics, because whatever goes up has to also come down. So you will then drop down again, and if that wasn't enough, bounce over a little airtime hill before coming out of the end once again, this time going, yeah, I think that was thrilling enough. Now throughout this video I have kept mentioning that later on we'll be seeing the thrilling attractions, and I do believe that we have found the most thrilling side, but what about the most thrilling ride? Well, let me give you Rebel. And if you're rebel enough to take it on, in a nutshell, you'll be boarding the end of one of the 5 arms? Yeah, I think it's 5. And of course, the further you sit towards the end, the more intense it will be. But to be honest, it's intense anyway, with those arms being able to freely flip whilst the central hub spins around on a giant arm, which, believe it or not, also rotates around, not rotate 90 degrees, but the entire way around, creating what you can see one of, if not the most intense experience in the whole of Australia. But just because it's the most intense does not mean it is the most fun. This is Project Zero, and this ride right here provides the thrills, the fun and the excitement all into one ride. And I don't think I need to tell you why, so instead I'm going to give you a tip, which would be to ride this in multiple places, because whilst in one spot you'll be hanging upside down on that very long inversion, that's the back spot, on the front spot you'll be going through the inversion at a faster speed, but then when you go down the drops you will still be going at a faster speed. So try multiple spots, the front, the middle and the back, to find truly the best experience for you. Thank you all for watching, bye bye.